name is Juanita. I'm with Teak Farms. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
All right, awesome. First things first, I want to let you know that we're recording this. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, awesome. We do like to get to know a little bit more about the people that we are going to have working with us. So some of these questions are going to be guided towards that. Any type of experience?
Um, just a little bit. I just started my own little grow project a couple weeks ago in my house.
So tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I work as a physical therapist, but I haven't really been doing much of that lately with the COVID. I work as needed, and places haven't really been needing me. Um, Other than that, I like to work out. I like to go out to eat. Um, I've been cooking a lot lately.
So what would you say are some of your strengths and weaknesses? Hold on.
Bless, bless you.
Thank you.
Strengths. I'm a good listener. I'm a quick learner. Pretty patient. Good team player. Weaknesses. I can be passive. Pretty passive sometimes. Yeah, maybe passive. Maybe I can be a little too critical of people. Maybe. Yeah.
That's not a bad thing either. So what do you have on your plate right now as far as your time obligations?
Right now, I'm doing nothing. I just I play it by ear to see if people need me to work, but no one's been contacting me, so I have nothing on my plate right now.
Okay. So the next kind of section that we like to talk a little bit about is your ability to use like critical thinking skills. It's kind of really important. So is there like an example that you could give me of where you had to set goals and you achieved them?
Set goals and achieve them. Yeah, I guess, well, with my patients, as a physical therapist, we set goals for everybody, right? We make a plan of care, and then we have to set goals that they have to achieve in order to go home. And I guess, yeah, it's what I do mostly is I make the plan of care, I make the goals, and then the assistants do the treating. So I guess I'm just kind of like the planner, and I check in every so often and make sure that they're on the right track.
That's actually a pretty good thing, because then kind of segueing into that, I want to let you know that this is a super positive team playing environment. So is there an example or an illustration of how you had to work with a team? I know that you kind of mentioned that you set goals and that you kind of delegate what people have to do. Is there,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's pretty interdisciplinary. So we work with, so I'm a physical therapist. We have occupational therapists, we have assistants, we have techs. We work with the nurses a lot and the doctors. So every week we have meetings and we talk about each of the patients. And then, of course, like day to day, we're interacting with nurses a lot.
Yeah.
To make sure that they're getting their meds and, that they're stable, their vitals are stable. We can do exercises with them.
Going hand in hand with kind of team place environment, is there an incident or an example that you can maybe give me of a time where like it was like a difficult situation and how you had to overcome maybe some type of conflict with a coworker or a friend or someone?
Yeah, I think so. I worked a little bit in the beginning of when COVID started. And I think it was really confusing. People didn't really know what to do and didn't have set procedures in place. So a lot of times the therapists, what we would want to have, PPE, the protective equipment. Mm-hmm. And then the nurses were kind of lax about it. And we kind of got in a little bit of a situation with them because they were, just worried about saving the equipment, right? Because, the whole shortage of all the PPE. So we had a situation, but we didn't really let it go out of hand. We just talked to our supervisor, and then our supervisor talked to the nursing supervisor. Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Oh, what makes you interested in this internship?
Yeah, I just I've kind of always been interested in cultivating cannabis. I, I I feel like working in healthcare, I see a lot of people overusing opiates and other
Or
pharmaceuticals, and it's not great, all the side effects and um, you know the dependency, right, and withdrawals if you don't have it. And I think cannabis is a great medication for certain ailments. And yeah, and gardening is something I've kind of wanted to become good at too. So working with plants, it's kind of a skill that I want to have.
I was just going to ask you what kind of skills and experiences you wanted to learn with us, but you kind of just answered that too.
The ins and outs of growing. I mean, I've always found gardening kind of intimidating, right? And maybe time consuming, and I can be impatient. So, but with, growing things, you have to be patient. You have to really tend to it and be gentle and, like know a lot of things. So I think that'll be interesting.
Also want to make sure that we're completely transparent with like what we do. So did you have any questions for me about anything?
I think, well, I talked to Skylar a little bit yesterday, and
Yeah.
he was saying that the interns work under the growers, like the
Yeah.
main grower and then the assistant grower.
Uh-huh.
And then it's a 60-day internship. And then if you guys like me, then hire on.
Yeah.
Okay. And is that part-time, full-time? Is it pretty flexible? How does that work?
Well, the internship is going to be pretty flexible. I believe it's going to be anywhere from 2 to 4 hours a day.
Okay.
And I believe they mentioned anywhere from 2 to 4 days out of the week. It's completely flexible. We don't have a set schedule as of right now because we haven't had our first harvest. Our first harvest is going to be at the end of July. So once we get into practice with all of that stuff, there's going to be tons of positions that have to be filled. So that's kind of why we're doing internships now, to get people in at the ground up. So that way we feel more comfortable with hiring them and working with more quality people that we've had the opportunity to kind of build with when we do have those positions opening up.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think right now, like I said, I'm pretty open. I'm not doing anything, but I think once COVID starts kind of dying off, I think I'll probably I plan on just working part-time doing therapy. I'm trying to kind of trickle out of working in therapy. So I'll probably just be doing that part-time.
Okay.
So then, yeah.
Well, the good thing is the flexibility about this position too.
Okay.
Are you in Tucson? You're in Tucson, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So are you familiar with our location, like where we're at?
Yeah, I looked it on the website. It's like South Tucson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was great speaking with you, and I know you didn't have too many questions for me. We're going to be interviewing candidates throughout the whole entire week, and hopefully Skylar and the owner will be reviewing all of the interviews that we have and selecting candidates next week. But outside of that, if you have any questions or any concerns, feel free to hit Skylar up in the interim of things, okay?
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
All right. Have a good day. Bye.
All right. You too. Bye.